What's up, Mafia? Jalen Hurts just killed every single uncoachable narrative with one report. And while it's happening, AJ Brown's letting you know exactly where his head is with his absence. And DeVonta Smith, he's gearing up to be the number one. And it's all starting to connect. So, let's get it mixing. So here's what's happening. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler dropped a report over the weekend, and for once, it's not a hit piece. Fowler said Jalen Hurts and new offensive coordinator Sean Mannion have hit it off. And Hurts is as open as he's ever been to playing more under center and running more play action. Now hold on, because 2 months ago it was the same Jeremy Fowler, alongside Tim McManus, dropping that report calling Hurts resistant to change. Saying that he didn't like play action, saying that he didn't like playing under center, and saying that he was hard to coach. And now, same reporter, completely different tune. Like, come on, Jeremy. Jeremy, my man. Come on, guy. You were just saying Jalen Hurts is the problem. You were saying the offense stalled because of him. You were saying he was uncoachable, and he was the reason for all the discord in Philadelphia. Now look at you backpedaling, looking just like a cornerback. Like, come on, man. I need you to get it together and tighten up, because you can't play both sides of the fence. And it's time to face it. Jalen Hurts was never the problem. He said it himself on camera. I enjoy being under center. It's not about shotgun or pistol. It's about what you're doing when you're under center. He said that on the record before any of this drama actually started. The truth behind it all is that Kevin Patullo never had a plan, and Jalen Hurts knew it all along. The locker room knew it, and now the whole league and the whole world is now finding out. And then Sean Mannion comes in, actually explains his vision for the offense. He builds truck with his quarterback, and suddenly Jalen Hurts is all in. Fowler's also confirmed that Jalen Hurts has been working off-site with DeVonta Smith and new addition Elijah Moore. Throwing routes, building timing, doing all this before OTAs even officially start. Just think about what that tells you. It shows you that this isn't a guy who doesn't want to change. This is a guy who needed a coordinator worth buying into. And the stats back it up. In 2025, Jalen Hurts ranked 35th out of 36 quarterbacks in throws over the middle of the field. But since 2022, he carries a 123.7 passer rating in middle of the field throws. Second best in the entire league over that stretch. He can do it. He's always been able to do it. They just refuse to call it. And Sean Mannion is here to fix that. And the early results from what we've seen so far, they're already looking promising. Now, let's talk about the guy who wasn't there. This past weekend, the Eagles hosted their 9th annual Eagles Autism Challenge. Nearly 7,000 participants, over 40,000 donations, a record $16 million raised, with 100% going directly to autism research and care programs. Jalen Hurts was out there on the bike ride, leading the charge as he should. But a certain wide receiver, nowhere to be seen. And before you say, maybe he was just busy, just look at the pattern. Not at DeVonta Smith charity softball game, when he was always in attendance. Not at the Eagles Autism Challenge, another event he always showed up to. And just look at the reports coming out of rookie minicamp. They all paint the same picture. You don't have to say a word for people to understand exactly where your head is. Actions tell the whole story. And right now, AJ Brown's actions are screaming that he's already checked out of Philadelphia. And based on everything we've seen, a trade is definitely still happening. If you haven't come to terms with what happens after June 1st, you're more enthusiastic than I am. But there's good news. The Eagles are clearly building around what comes next. And that all starts with DeVonta Smith. Let's be clear about something that concerns DeVonta Smith. Aaron Moorhead, the wide receiver coach, came out and said Smitty doesn't care about accolades, only about his team winning and championships. And I get why he said that. But I do have to disagree, because DeVonta Smith himself told us differently.
What do you want for yourself now that you've won a championship? What's next?
Continue to grow, man. You know, playing this game, you have accolades and things like that you want to chase and things like that. But it doesn't happen overnight. So right now, just working on myself, coming out here, improving my game, and when the season comes, everything's going to take care of itself.
So you're thinking like an all-pro kind of thing. Those sorts of things you're thinking.
Yeah,
about?
for sure. That's part of it, man. I haven't had no all-pro, no Pro Bowl or nothing like that. So that I feel like that's something that I have to accomplish. That's part of me playing this game. Part of it is to win, but everyone has personal goals.
And you know what? DeVonta Smith has every right. He took the back seat for years, and he never complained once. He never shrugged his head, and he never pouted. He put up 1,000+ yards while playing second fiddle and still managed to look elite and was clutch every single time. Winning is the priority. There's no question about that. But DeVonta Smith, he's also a man with standards for himself. And that combination, that's what's going to make him dangerous in 2026. And the physical evidence, it's already there. Footage from inside the building shows Smitty has already visibly bulked up. Whether that's for a bigger responsibility or just knowing what's coming next. Either way, DeVonta Smith looks like a man on a mission. And Jeremy Fowler is already calling DeVonta Smith Jalen Hurts' new number 1. This is his moment, and from everything we're seeing, he knows that also. Another 2 physical updates worth noting. Nolan Smith has been putting on size this offseason, and that matters. Pass rushers who can hold their edge against the run open up everything else in Vic Fangio's system. A season ago, he had 10 sacks including 4 in the postseason. A healthier, stronger Nolan Smith in a rotation with Jonathan Grenard and Jalen Hunt, that's a nightmare for opposing offenses. And Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport predicted that Nolan Smith will lead the team in sacks in 2026. In my opinion, I give that to Jonathan Grenard, based on his past production and what he's been able to accomplish. But either way, this new rotation is going to be elite. On the other side of the ball, Saquon Barkley looks a lot leaner heading into this offseason, and that makes sense for what Sean Mannion wants to do. Quick handoffs, outside zone, and letting the running backs work in open space. And a leaner Saquon in an offense built on motion and space, that's a different kind of problem for opposing defenses. Now for the most underrated story of the entire offseason. Eagles reporter Zach Berman sat down with former Eagle Jordan Matthews, who coached Eli Stowers at Vanderbilt. And what Matthews said should have every single Eagles fan locked in on this kid. Matthews said, quote, "I personally think he's a Pro Bowl talent. You can see the athletic ability, and he's always showed up in our biggest games." He then went further and said, "I have no hesitation behind what I'm saying." And the comparison that he made to Eli Stowers was Travis Kelce. Not for the production, but for the way Stowers plants his feet and creates instant separation. Matthews says, "No one can cover this kid when he sticks his foot in the ground." Matthews played with Zach Ertz, Dallas Goedert, and George Kittle. That's elite company to be compared to. And the part that really stands out is that Stowers won the best tight end award in college football. And his first question to the coaches was, "What do I need to get better at?" That mentality, in Philadelphia, with Mannion's system built around double tight end sets, don't be surprised when Eli Stowers is a name that you can't stop talking about. Now, before we close, let's talk about the schedule leak that has Philadelphia going crazy. The Eagles are set to play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, November 27th, Week 12, 4:30 p.m. in Dallas. This is the first Eagles-Cowboys Thanksgiving matchup since 2014, when LaShawn McCoy ran for 159 yards and a touchdown, sacked Tony Romo 4 times, and picked him off twice. Philadelphia won that game 33-10. And I'll tell you this, that was a great day to be an Eagles fan. Family, food, and Dallas getting their asses whooped. The only other Thanksgiving meeting between these two happened in 1989, when the Eagles shut down Dallas 27-0. As of late, yes, the Cowboys have won 7 out of 8 in Jerry World. And yes, the only Eagles win in Dallas during that stretch came against Cooper Rush as a backup. But this is a different Eagles team. New offense, reloaded defense with some unfinished business. So, Philadelphia, we're having Thanksgiving in Dallas. Write it down, circle it on the calendar. That's a statement game, and the Eagles better show up. And I know they will. So, where are we right now with this Eagles team? Jalen Hurts finally has a system that he can believe in. Sean Mannion is slowly building trust on the offensive side of the ball. DeVonta Smith is locked in, and he's hungry. The defense already has the pieces to succeed. And the schedule has at least one game that we have to circle in red. Jalen Hurts has dealt with more offensive coordinator turnover than any other quarterback in the league. And every single time, he adjusts, he locks in, and he finds a way. And that uncoachable narrative, dead, buried, and gone. And what's left is a team that if Sean Mannion delivers on his offensive vision, and if Jalen Hurts plays the way he's capable of, is a team that's genuinely a Super Bowl threat in 2026. Not a contender on paper, a real dangerous football team. And the rest of the NFL, they should be worried. And honestly, I think they already are. So I want you to tell me, what's your Thanksgiving score prediction? Tell me how many sacks you think Nolan Smith is going to get this season. And do you think DeVonta Smith goes All-Pro this year? Drop it in the comment section and let me know. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right now. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that's coming up. And don't forget to drop a like. It means everything to the channel. And once again, I've been Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.